Hey everyone, this is Scott from the Forgot to Grow Up podcast. Welcome to another edition of ReWatching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Today I'm talking about Season 3, Episode 22, Ascension. So I'm just going to be starting off with the plot summary and then just talking about my general thoughts about this season finale, and then just any Easter eggs or foreshadowing elements I might have noticed. Let's just start with that plot summary, which says, Hive realizes that Lash has made Daisy impervious to his influence, so instead he overpowers and abducts her. Gaera and James bring him the warhead, while many of the primitives remain to kill the rest of S.H.I.E.L.D. May and Fitz infiltrate Zephyr 1 and free Daisy. Fitz kills Gaera while Coulson and the others evade the primitives and escape the base in a Quinjet, boarding Zephyr 1. Coulson plans to send the warhead into space in the Quinjet to detonate safely, and Daisy believes that she must go with it to atone for her actions under Hive's sway and fulfill her vision. She enters the Quinjet where she is confronted by Hive, but Lincoln throws her out and fries the jet's manual controls, ascending to space where the warhead detonates and kills both him and Hive, thus fulfilling Daisy's vision. 6 months later, Daisy has left S.H.I.E.L.D. and is operating as the vigilante Quake, evading Coulson, who is no longer the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., and we also see Radcliffe uploads his artificial intelligence Ada into a life model decoy. I really enjoyed this season finale. It was just so much action, so action-packed and story-packed. I really enjoyed this one. We started off with at first we see Daisy, giving into her withdrawal, trying to reconnect with Hive, but Hive realizes he can't because of Lash made Daisy impervious, which I thought was a really cool kind of addition to the fact that, he not only got rid of the sway, but was also able to kind of make her impervious to it so that she's not able to fall under it again. So I forgot about that element, but I thought it was a cool element that they added into this episode. Then we see the two of them fight when Hive and Quake fight at the beginning of this, because I call her Quake in this. She doesn't technically get the name Quake till the end of the show, but at the beginning you see a little Quake action. She's using her powers to just block Hive's fists and just cracking all his bones. She's quaking the hell out of him, and I really enjoyed that scene. It was really fast paced, and I thought they just did a really great job. And this is one of the things I love about this show is they do really great fight scenes from time to time. I thought this was one of the better ones that we've seen, especially a one-on-one fight scene. So I really like that right off the bat. We start off with that. What else do I have written down? Oh, Yo-Yo takes a bullet from Mac. And I like the joke she makes. She's not quick enough. And I was like, that's kind of funny. It does make it a little bit, I think they might have written that into this episode so that she can make certain things a little easier on them for, when it comes to the Quinjet and being on Zephyr 1 and stuff like that. So I kind of feel like that way, but at the same time, it was also cool to see, this kind of character development between those two. You see a little bit more of the relationship between Mac and Yo-Yo develop, because she's willing to take a bullet for him, not slightly unintentional. She tried to catch them all, but she was still willing to put herself in front of him, and she ends up taking a bullet for him. So I thought that was a good part to helping develop their relationship a little bit more. What else have I written down? Oh, we see at one point that Radcliffe is really, really impressed with the hand that Fitz had made for Coulson. And then you see him also looking at the other robotics and cybernetic stuff that Fitz has in his lab. And I was just like, oh, haha. I definitely didn't notice the first time I watched this, but this time I definitely was like, oh, that's where he gets the idea for the LMD, which we see a little hint, we see a big hint to at the end of the episode, obviously, leading into next season, which is all about that. But yeah, I really, really like that little bit of foreshadowing, a little bit of a tie-in of he definitely which we know in the next season he gets a lot of the tech ideas and designs from Fitz. Not a lot. I don't know exactly the way to word it, but him and Fitz work he couldn't have done it without Fitz. Is the way I'm trying to say. Fitz was pretty integral to it, and you see that little bit of the start of it with him just being oh, this is a hand. So it's if Fitz had a more organized lab, would the LMDs have been made? I think that's just an interesting thought with just having seen that scene. What else do I have written down for this episode? Oh, the Fitz kills Gaera part with the thing we didn't say in the plot summary is that it was with a cloaked gun, which I just really enjoyed that scene because I'm just rewatching it. And I'm like, how does Fitz get out of this? I can't remember how Fitz gets out of this one. And then you see his hand going in the shape of holding a gun, and I'm like, oh, that's right. Cloaked pistol, like it. It's brilliant. Good job, Fitz. Thought that was a fun little kind of, I don't want to say gag, but a little trick that they threw in there for, the way for Fitz to be able to kind of defend himself a little bit, because he's not like the quick draw guy, but, sometimes he's going to get caught with his pants down a little bit, because he always got a tablet in his hands. I just really enjoyed that. I thought it was very suiting for the character, and I thought he did a great job. I just really enjoyed that little bit to it, is what I mean. What else do I have written down? Coulson tricks. Well, Coulson doesn't really trick Hive into the Quinjet. I wrote that down as a note, but it's more like I like the way they end up getting Hive off of the Zephyr, which is that he's going there to try and stop them from using it to using the Quinjet to get rid of the warhead, and in turn it ends up being Lincoln who saves the day, fries the Quinjet circuits and flies them away. So that was a cool little bit. What else do we have? Oh, when Coulson's distracting, that's where that note was such a go. So when Coulson's distracting Hive, with his hologram, which I immediately remembered it was a hologram right away, just because I remember thinking, oh yeah, he stands really still. And that's something we remember. He even alludes to that it was Agent Blake who gave him the idea. And I remember when he did that, he was very still a couple times too, because he can't move a lot. So yeah, that was just an interesting little bit. During that scene, we also see Hive reveal his real face, the tentacles and all that, or real face. Because this is his real face. I don't understand what Hive is exactly. Like, does he have a face? Did he dissolve Grant Ward's face away to show that? Does he create that face? I have a lot of questions about the Octopus Face, and I feel like I don't get the answers. I'm going to talk into this a little bit more, but yeah, that's just something I was thinking about. It doesn't really take away from the show at all. I just thought about it a little bit. I was just thinking of the mechanics behind it. I'm just like, which, if you think about the mechanics behind superpowers, you'll go a little crazy, so I should just move on past that. So yeah, what else? When Coulson's doing the hologram, he says, "Help me, Obi-Wan," which I just thought was a fun little gag, and I love that, to me, it's just a little bit extra fun because it's a Marvel show. Marvel's owned by Disney. Disney owns Star Wars, so it's just a little extra fun. It's a little extra all in the universe. I just get off on these little things, That's why I love these shows. What else do I have? Oh, we get Mac's shotgun axe. He doesn't use it a whole lot, but we see it. It's awesome. It's officially together. It's officially in the show. I know it comes in a lot more next season when we got LMDs to chop down. So I'm excited to get to that, to see that in action a little bit more, because I love Mac's shotgun axe, because it's just to the point. It's a shotgun and it's got an axe. It's dual purpose. What more do you need to say about it? What else have I written down? Oh, we see Daisy and Lincoln kind of break up, which seems a little bit like, oh, you guys did have to have that conversation before he just sacrifices himself. This seems like, but I guess they hadn't gotten to the point that one of them decided to sacrifice themselves. But I just thought that was a little bit like, ooh, he's gonna be extra heartbroken for that one. What else do I have written down? Lincoln sacrificed himself, and he took Yo-Yo's necklace with him, which that thing was like hot potato or something else you pass between people. I don't know. But yeah, it just, in this episode alone, 4 different people had it, and it ended up with Lincoln at the end, and Lincoln in the Quinjet. So I thought that was fun, just an interesting little thing. Like I said, at least 3, potentially 4 people had it in this episode alone. Because Daisy has it. It starts off with Fitz, then goes to Daisy, and then so that's just 3. Just 3 people had it in this episode. But it started off as yo-yos. That's not the point. Anyways, what else have I written down? Oh, just the things at the end we pretty much get. Oh, well, the fight at the end, actually. The whole team fighting against the primitives. I just really enjoyed that. We even see Fitz and Simmons kicking some butt. They're not, they're not May. They're not kicking ass. But they were kicking a little bit of butt. They were definitely doing some PG fighting, and they were holding out their own a little bit. It took 2 of them to take on one a couple times, but I still love that they're just so into it. Like the first season, we started off with these guys. They ran at every sign of danger. They had to run away. They hid behind Grant Ward, and then in this situation, they were just standing up to these things that were working for Grant Ward. So I just really love that. the evolution of their characters from, because they've had to roll with it. Shit keeps going down, and they don't want to not help, and they don't want to not do these things, but they're also not trained they're not trained like me. They're not specialists. They're scientists. So I just love seeing them fight. I love seeing any time that they have to get a little violent because it's not their normal nature, but we've seen them kind of evolve into adapting to it, and I just really enjoyed that. What else do we get? Oh yeah, so that's pretty much all until we get to the 6-month leap forward flash at the end of the episode, which I enjoyed because I think it's fun because we always do get these big hiatuses between seasons. So it's kind of fun that they give us this little tease for the next season. We knew the next season was going to be coming out because they showed us this tease. But it also gets you just thinking like, ooh, what can it be? Something to do with the LMDs. We got Quake as a vigilante, not with S.H.I.E.L.D. Coulson's not the director anymore. Who's the new director? Some of us know who've already rewatched it, but we'll have to get to that to discuss it a little bit more. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I had for this episode. If there's anything I missed, foreshadowing or Easter egg wise, or anything you liked in particular about this episode, this season finale, or the season in general, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for joining me today. Thanks for joining me for the season. Be sure to join me as I start the next season next week. And thanks again for joining me. Have a good one.